Greetings everybody, Medicropper here. Welcome to Medicrop Grow Series episode 18. Starting off in the pre-veg area, we're not going to spend much time in here because there's not much to report. All the plants are just vegging, getting bigger. These are all the random strains here. A bunch of golden tickets down there, more random strains. Orange cookies still curling over. And then that far side, those are all the alien risks that we're going to be putting into veg, down into the veg area in about 10 days, 11 days from now. I went through and topped all of those about 4 days ago when I took clones. Went ahead and filled 5 domes worth of clones here. I'd say about 2 of them are alien rifts, 2 clones worth, or 2 domes worth of clones, and the rest are kind of random ones. I know I did a bunch of sour banana sherbet clones, a few different OGs. I think I did some Casper OGs, some Scott's OG. I don't remember what else. And then I took some off of the Blue Dreams down here. We'll look at those in a minute. But yeah, the temperature's been a little cool. The first few nights after I took the clones, the alien rifts were wilted pretty badly. I think it's because when the lights go out in here, it gets pretty cold, like down into the upper 60s. So I've now got them under a heating pad, keeping them warmer. Other than that, everything's just fine in here. These will get moved out probably be a couple more weeks before all these get moved out and go to where I'm going to be flowering them. But yeah, so that's the pre-veg area. I know on my last video people were commenting about the damage on these orange cookies, and the same thing on the Grow Lagoon number 4, saying that it's the ocean forest. You guys clearly have not been watching my videos, because up until a couple rounds ago I was not even using ocean forest. I was using pure cocoa, and I'm still having the same issue with a bunch of these strains. So it's definitely not that. But I'm not even worried about it right now, so let's go ahead. I'm going to cut the video, adjust the white balance, and then we'll go ahead and look down here at the veg plants. Okay, we're now looking down at all the veg plants. The forum cuts that I had in the 1-gallon pots have since been removed, and all of these have been topped and lollipopped. You can see this veg area is pretty much full. I just have one small walkway down the center over to my door over there. So these plants are going to be nice and big and ready to go into flower in 11 days from now. Mostly all Blue Dream, but we also have some grapefruit diesel, some Dutch treat, some forum cut Girl Scout cookies, some lemon OG, and some UW purple. But for the most part, this is going to be a Blue Dream grow. I think about 75% of our plants are Blue Dream. So yeah, they're all doing good. I gave them a little bit too strong nutrients about 4 or 5 days ago. I saw a little bit of tip burn and leaf curl happening with the new growth, so I instantly gave them some straight water to dilute that out before any major problems were caused, and now they're doing just fine. So yeah, we've got 10 more days of veg. This is going to be totally packed with plants. I mean, it's already pretty much a full canopy, so 10 more days of veg, they're going to get a lot bigger. I'll probably go ahead and top them again in 5 or so days, maybe a few days before I make the next episode, and then they'll be ready to go into flower soon after that. Okay, I'm going to cut this part and we'll move over to flower room number 2, where the lights are getting ready to go off. Alright, we are now in flower room number 2. This is a 25,000 watt recessed Gavita flower room. We have 25 beds. Each bed has 4 plants. They're currently at day 20 in flower. Current temperature is 78 degrees with a humidity at about 68 to 70%. Don't know exactly because I haven't looked, but I'm pretty good at feeling the humidity in the air. I've walked into my grow room so many times and checked the humidity, I can kind of just feel what it is. We're actually having a little bit of a problem in both the veg room and both flower rooms. Not a big problem, something that'll easily be fixed, but I just want to bring it to you guys' attention. It's actually moisture on the ceiling. The airspace above all the gardens is very cold, and it's fresh air. It's air cooled. It has fans cooling it with outside temperature. Current temperature outside is in the upper 20s, which is about -2 Celsius. And the really cold air in the spaces above the rooms create condensation on the ceiling from the warm air in the rooms. So as that warm air in the room gets close to the ceiling, it cools, and when it cools, it's not able to hold as much moisture, so it condenses and that moisture collects on the ceiling. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that rigid foam insulation that a lot of people use for their walls in their grow room. I'm just going to line the ceilings on the upper side, all the ceilings of all the rooms with that stuff, and that will eliminate that issue. Back to the garden. So these plants are day 20. I've noticed that the buds are looking typical for my gardens at day 20. Not typical for what this facility's been doing at day 20, but for my old gardens. The buds are pretty good size. And I'm pretty sure that has to do with the fact that I've raised the humidity so high. This room is pretty full with buds. We can look at the walkways between the beds, and they're pretty much closed in. There's a couple of them where the lights, because the lights aren't spaced perfectly at 5 feet, some of them are spaced a little bit further. So there's a couple walkways where there's actually a little bit more room, but look, the canopy is almost entirely filled in. The canopy height is about ranging from 5 feet to about 6 feet, maybe 6'2". The one bed back there that's got the big plants in it, that's, you know, well over 6 feet and a couple inches, whereas most everything else is right around 5 to 5.5 feet. Everything you see right in front of me here, these first 3 rows, so this row, and this row, those are all critical mass CBD. And then these 2 beds, first 2 beds are critical mass CBD, and then the next 3 beds in this row are all the random strains. And then the last row here, we have a full bed of Alien Rift, another full bed of Alien Rift, and then a 3rd bed that has 3 Alien Rift and 1 critical mass CBD. And then 2 more beds of random strains. Remember, I have, I think, 21 strains total in here, maybe 22. Another thing I need to fix is this. My intake fan that's exchanging air with the other flower room, that's a 12-inch fan blowing in there. It's just blasting these plants. So they do have a little bit of wind burn. So they're just getting blasted with wind. So I was going to build just a little kind of wooden deflector to put there to make it shoot up, but I'm going to actually buy another, or a 12-inch corner, a hard corner that I can just put on there and make it shoot up. The wind's not doing too much damage to them right now, and I'll be able to buy that corner piece in 2 days from now, so 3 days. In 3 days from now, I'll have that corner piece installed, so these plants are just going to have to deal with wind for 2 more days. They'll get a little bit more damage, but it's not too bad as it is right now. Just a little bit of damage. So 3 more days they can hold out. And then I'll have that air, instead of it shooting straight across, I'll have it turn and go up. Yeah, so here's the bed with the really big plants, and they are nice and tall, all well over 6 feet. Alien Rifts are bulking up nicely for day 21. Everything's doing well. I didn't lollipop this garden. I like to lollipop on or before day 21, and this will take me easily 3 days to lollipop all these plants. So and I'm going to be busy all day tomorrow, so I won't really be able to get around to lollipopping them for a couple more days. Yeah, so I'll be in Seattle when I'm going to buy that piece for that. I'd say the 23rd or 24th day of flower is the soonest I'll be able to start lollipopping. So I might just not lollipop. Then I'll go through and harvest all the tops and, you know, do something else with all the bottoms. The reason why I like to lollipop, or not only does it allow my plants to focus their growth on the top colas, but it also allows me to get air movement under the canopy and help protect against any bugs. I don't have any bugs in here, at least not that I know of, but when the separation between your lower canopy and your medium creates nice airspace, it's hard for any bugs to really hide in there or thrive. So anyway, as far as health of the plants goes, I say they're all doing really well. For the most part, they're all nice and dark green. A little bit of burning on some, a little bit of deficiency on some, but you know, I'm still trying to dial in the gavitas and how to feed perfectly with the gavitas, which is different than single-ended bulbs. But for the most part, everything's really healthy. Most of the plants are praying, looking nice, starting to produce frost or crystals, and just bulking up nicely. So definitely a good round so far. Here's one of the aisles where the lights are more than 5 feet, so I can actually walk down there. This one's closed in pretty well. And then this one I can walk down too. So yeah, it'll be fun to take some close-up shots of all these different buds on the new plants once they start developing more. Curious to see. I think there's 19 strains in here that I've never run before. Maybe 18 that I've never run before. Yeah, okay, well that's it for Flower Room 2. Let's go ahead and move over to Flower Room 1 as soon as the lights kick on, which should be just a few minutes from now. Here we are in Flower Room number 1. Just got to watch the lights come on there. And we are, let me just think, day 51 of flower. Yeah, that sounds good, day 51. I've noticed that the plants, or the buds on these plants, have really bulked up. I didn't come in here for 4 days. Last night was the first day I came in 5 days, so I left. 4 nights went by and I returned, and the buds had bulked up quite a bit. I was really pleased to see that. And they're also looking like they're finishing out pretty well. I am in full flush at this point. The plants have been receiving nothing but straight water for the last 2 waterings. And they'll receive, I would say, 2 to 3 more just straight waterings before they get harvested. I did come in and tuck up some more branches yesterday that were flopping over. I see there's one down there actually. Right there. Right there. That's flopped over that I need to pick back up and either tuck or tie up. Just to go over what we have in here, once again, a 25,000 watt recessed Gavita grow, or room. We have one full row of TGA's Chernobyl Golden Ticket Pheno, another full row of the same thing, and then the third row, we have the last 2 beds are the Golden Ticket Chernobyl Pheno. And then the center bed is Go GOG from Bodhi Seeds. and it has really bulked up. I'm really liking the looks of this. Nice fat colas. This is great size for Goji OG. And then we have one bed of the sour diesel. Short, squatty plants. Had that same issue that the Gorilla Glues and cookies were having, but it was not as bad this round as it was last round, or the round before this, which is nice. Last round, I had this growing. This is what it looked like at about day 35, so by the time I harvested, it looked a lot worse than this. And these colas have gotten way bigger, much bigger than they did last round. Last round they were big too, but these are even bigger yet. Probably has to do with the fact that I raised the humidity. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 beds of lemon OG. And then 2 beds of Gorilla Glue, and then a whole nother row of Gorilla Glue. So 5 beds over there, so a total of 7 beds of Gorilla Glue. And you can see the damage that the Gorilla Glue's having. This one's really bad. That fade, it's yellowish, dying off leaves. But once again, we're almost to harvest. These have been being flushed, and these are looking much better than they were at day 51 the last round I grew it. So that's good. I don't think any of the yellow or dead leaves will creep into the bud. Whereas the last 2 times I harvested it made it into the bud, and I had to like go through and pick out the yellow leaves, which is a total pain in the ass. And also these Gorilla Glues have bulked up way more than they did the last 2 rounds. So definitely happy that this is improving. I'm finally going to have a good harvest. After the last 2 harvests were poor for the size that, well, compared to what I should be getting in here. Obviously I wasn't running all the lights, but it's finally nice to have 25 lights on, 25 beds, and each bed having a good amount of weight coming out of it. These golden tickets are beautiful, faded to this dark purple. Frosty, and nice big nugs for golden ticket. I like that. So yeah, at this point, everything's just gonna get straight water. Gojis, they really came on towards the end. Very good. These lemon OGs are just massive. Huge colas. That's great. Yeah, when I think about how the last time I grew this lemon OG and got over, what, I got 3.75 pounds per light on my last grow in my old room before I took off, and those lemon OGs, I got 3.75 pounds per light, and I had the intake blowing right on them, nice humid air, and I'm like, man, how am I ever going to get that high again? That was like crazy high, unheard of. Well, in my world, my circle of people, it's unheard of. And then I see these and I'm like, damn, these are so huge. If I actually got these plants to fill in, you know, I got a big hole here, no buds. If I can do like a whole grow lemon OG and actually get the plants big, because you know, these weren't very big when I put them into flower. Nice healthy plants going into flower and getting to do this, I could easily see myself having over 3 pounds of light with these Gavitas. You know, a solid canopy that's like 25 feet by 25 feet or 27 or 20 by 27 or whatever the rooms are of just solid lemon OG colas. That's how you get up in those huge yields. I was a little worried about these, whether or not they're going to finish. I guess I'm taking them they'll take them 61 days, 61 or 62 days. So another 10 days, 10 to 11 days. And we still got quite a few white hairs on these lemon OGs. But 4 days ago when I was in here, it was like all white hairs, and now the hairs are finally starting to change. This is definitely a 9-week strain, so I'll be taking it right about the right amount of time. fact that I'm sealed with CO2 will help them finish up a little sooner, but still, they definitely don't look finished. But I have faith that within the next 10 days they will. And everything else just looks great in here. Okay guys, I won't keep this video too long, go ahead and cut it now. But thanks for tuning in. Any questions or comments, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you next week where we'll be getting ready to chop these. I'll probably be de-leafing all these about the time I'm making the video next week. Alright, peace.